into Siege lobbies, connected my Twitch all up. It was a bit of a shambles, but here we are, back straight into it. And today we will have two teams, Team Bad versus R6SS. I'm not entirely sure what they stand for, but I do not care to check. On the clubhouse, I imagine there's some standard bans, maybe the Thatcher, maybe the Maverick taking it off the board, potentially even like a flank watch operator taking it out as well. I'm not expecting anything too out of the ordinary. I just for everybody else to be aware, and also for myself, I do believe that team, the orange team, is Team Bad, and R6 is it? I believe what's their team name? Siege Shitters would be on the blue side. So just everybody else to know. And yeah, the Thatch ban coming out straight off the board on the clubhouse. That is a very standard ban, and the Habana coming out as well, coming from the side of Team Bad. I mean, yeah, Habana being a very standard ban for clubhouse, as her change of the pallets, where she could put 2 on the hatches, does allow it to what's the word? Counter any sort of impact triggering, which is very, very useful on the kitchen hatch. So taking it off the board will solve that issue for the defenders, and the Mira being taken off the board as well. Even with her recent changes, it still is quite an annoying operator to deal with, and taking her out does eliminate that one factor having to worry for it. And I'm just gonna turn Discord up and just let this stream go through, and I'm just gonna make sure everybody can announce it as well. And the Valkyrie round coming out as the last pick from the side of R6 Shitters. And yeah, again, Valkyrie being a very standard ban for Clubhouse. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. I mean, again, like I said, Valkyrie's a very good operator. She does provide a lot of intel for the side of the defenders. And as you bring in the IQ on the board, it does either waste a couple of seconds. We have to look around trying to find where you're getting pinged from, or just provides the ability for the defenders to play up on to these communications, which is very useful within a good team. And this is Division 1, so I am imagining quite a good team coming through. However, I have just come from PC, so I'm not expecting anything amazing, but these teams could prove me wrong here. And on the first site, we will see CCTV cache, and I'm not sure what to expect from these. I haven't watched these two teams play before, but I have seen some of these players play before. I'm familiar with Riot, I'm familiar with Slayer, What's it, Crucio? I've seen them play before. From the side of R6 Shitters, however, I'm not too sure of them myself, but because I have been out of the loop for a while, I'm not really into the meta at the moment. But anyway, the mute and the Kaid being there for the wall denial, as well as the mute and Mozzie being able to be there for the intel denial. The alibi switching onto the alibi off the Thunderbird is an interesting choice, since the alibi does, however, provide the shotgun pistol as well as a shield, so she is quite useful in that regards. And so I suppose a bit more on the utility side. The Zofia pick. They've got the Zofia, they've got the Ace, they've got the Buck, the Ayan, and the Maverick. The double hard reach, the double frag, and then the flex player. Again, that is a pretty standard lineup for the side of the attack. So again, like as I was saying, I'm expecting something pretty default. I'm not entirely sure what's taking so long for this lobby to load in. I'm just going to double check. It could be the fact that I am on PS4.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Okay, we're now in the lobby. I do apologise for the time it took to load in. I am on a PS4, so it's going to be a bit of a slow one from my side. I do apologise. And yeah, from what I've seen so far, there's nothing fancy going on. It is going to be a standard sort of hold, having that one player playing in Raptors, I'd imagine. No rotates have been made as of yet, other than obviously the default red one. Okay, they have to go for the head hold as opposed to the rotate, which is a very common thing nowadays. But yeah, very, very, very default hold. Just gonna be the same old.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
And I'm just gonna have to. I'm not a play-by-play, so I don't know how a color cast is supposed to solo cast this. It has been a while. Yeah. Okay, I cannot solo cast anymore. This is going to be horrendous. It does seem that the majority of the team are going to go for a breach side take, with Riot Izzy going on a solo from shipping docks, potentially to apply some pressure onto the construction side. Yes, this is a console league, to those who are asking in chat. It is Team It's Ellipsis League, hosted by Sham. But yeah, I'm not really sure as to what to cast over here. I am not a play with the Maverick breach. The Maverick breach does come through, allowing to get that breach open. The couple shots go through onto the Kaid, but Watts takes a bit more himself, leaving both players on relatively low health here, but both still alive in the game. 2 minutes left on the board, and the positions are still being held. It is the Alibi Shotgun, which is an interesting choice, but since the changes on it, it is relatively decent. The construction wall has been opened up as well, allowing the attackers to have that sort of positioning on the right. Indigo does getting off the board by Dark. His attempt gets killed onto locked in Brub as well. A 5-3 situation right now for the team R6 Shitters. As 1 minute 30, the Grand Slayer gets a kill onto Christian, gets a kill onto Temp as well. Even this out, it's a 3v3 situation. I cannot swap onto there we are. I can swap my buttons. Dropping down that construct the hat gets some verticals now onto site, forcing the defenders to reposition themselves. Does get a sight onto the Mozzie, but Crucio takes a couple shots to the field on the red stairs, and Dark gets a kill onto Crucio. A 3v2 situation. They are aware of the attacker's positions here. The Mozzie gets taken out by Grand Slayer. Finally landing those shots. Goes for a rotate around 2v2 situation. Darksy and What's It on relatively low health, as well as Chad, what am I supposed to say that? I'm not entirely sure. What's it? Putting this down into a 1v2 situation. Breach is open. Control is theirs. Darkseid is just sitting here waiting for the Maverick to push up into sight. I'm not entirely sure where Grand Slate is going. He's going for a little bit of a wander of garage to take that control that their team seemingly have left. And that is the final kill coming out from What's It, finishing off the round in favour of Team Bads. And I apologise, like I said, for if my casting is a bit off. I am not a play-by-play, and observing is a pain in the fucking ass. So, again, like with the one thing of Clubhouse, I'm not too fond of casting it. I find it a very, very default map. A lot of things that you will see it in every single game. And just to be sure that, I mean, the only thing that was a variety for most games that I've seen is the fact that they did go for a construction side take as well as a breach. They did have a nice split, and the nice communication coming in from the side of the attack, which I do like. And the vertical play coming through from the buck as well was very good. Even though it wasn't able to land any shots, I don't believe it was able to disorientate the defenders a little bit, and they weren't able to play as freely as they wanted to within sight. But a very good use of utility there from the side of the attackers and defenders. Even though they didn't get that round through, they did hold it off for a decent amount of time. But again, it's going to be a similar lineup from both teams. It is going to be very repetitive. It is Clubhouse after all, and it is console. So these lobbies are going to take so long to load in. Why did I agree to cast this? But yet again, I'm going to be expecting a similar sort of style, potentially maybe a couple. The only variations you get to see on this site is sometimes you get the whole SSG roam, where you have these entirely all around the map. With the Mozzie in play, it is possible to get a good sort of roam situation on the board. I mean, the Mozzie being able to deny the intel coming from the side of the attackers will allow him to play a bit more freely, or either of his teammates as well, if required. And I do believe, like, from what I've seen from these players in the past, they are very good players, like individually with their gun skill. I'm not sure how they are as a team. Again, I've not casted them or seen them play before. But yeah, the setup, very, very standard. I mean, there's no rotating between the sites, which is a very interesting one. So typically this rotate is opened up to allow you to be able to visualize. They drop from the hatch, but I suppose with the Aruni gate and no Habana on board, you don't have to worry about it as much. I mean, the Kai charge on this dirt will slow down a bit of time for the ace, but I'm sure it'll be no hassle whatsoever to get the... Oh, gets a pick onto the Jaeger. A nice kill, actually, coming out from the Grand Slayer, getting that opening frag. Your sense is insanely high. Jesus. Not going to question it. The Mozzie drone has been detected from the ace, and they are going to get that ping to see if adds communication with the team. And a top-down clear is being made from the side of the attackers, just to ensure that there are no roommates, which I don't believe there are. Just get that freedom on the map. I believe the Jaeger was the only person there that was not on site, and he has already been taken out. So, as soon as the attackers do realise this, it could be free game for them. And there's actually no denial on this kitchen hatch right now, other than obviously the arena gate below it, but they have got the flashes, they have got nades. I'm sure it'll be no hassle to destroy them whatsoever. A very, very efficient use of the vertical play here. Not so much, it actually just made its way into kitchen, as Grand Slayer is able to Ooh, he's gonna line it up. Just the C4 just coming through. I don't believe it lands. It locked in. Brub to get the kill onto the Thunderbird. A couple shots go through there and through those vertical holes. Does land a couple onto Grandslay. Gets taken out by Grandslay, but isn't at a 5v2 situation in favour of Team Bad. They now do have blue control. A couple shots do land into that Rooney. No, never actually land. How do they not? C4 comes through from Chirag, putting this down into a 2v4 situation. Right, Izzy's made his way into site, gets taken out by Darksea, as they do manage to retake that blue site. Watson gets the final kill onto Darksea, and that is a second round going in favour of Team Bad. Scoreboard looking pretty even so far. I mean, nothing much I can talk about it. Grandslay does get a nice couple kills on both of those rounds there, and you know, getting that opening pick was really the big play there. Second, they took out that Roma. Everybody else had kind of sandwiched into sight, so allowing Riot Izzy to just take that control. The verticals coming through they were all playing in sight, so no one was there to try and contest him. Even though they did try to shoot through those verticals, they weren't able to connect, and it did allow the distraction from the bug himself to allow the rest of his team to push into sight. And also stock hatch was soft, so that did leave blue very, very open with the rotate and the head holes as well, giving those lines of sight into sight for the attackers to utilise. The switch off of the mute onto the vigil could be a play here. Potentially, depending on how they plan to play it. I'm hoping a bit more of a roam presence would be necessary, although we did see that Bad were capable of taking care of this, as they did have efficient droning. They did do that a quick clear to ensure there was nobody else on roam.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Same site again. I'm going to go for a retry of this. I believe it is a very similar lineup here. They have swapped off the Aruni, since I don't believe she did provide much help for them there. And I'm not really talking much about the attack lineup, because I am pretty sure it is going to be repetitive this entire way through, since they do seem very comfortable on their operators. Is that all soft?
5 seconds.
Okay. Cool, round has now begun, but Twitch Wall is still soft and there is no site rotate. They have opted to go without the rotate into blue now, as I do believe they were able, and they have decided to finally reinforce the stock hatch. This is a very janky setup. It's taken them way too long to realise that wall wasn't reinforced, but I do suppose it is one of those sites where you're not going to have to worry too much about the attackers just rushing straight through, so you do have a couple extra seconds in the after prep phase to continue your setup. There is a Roma on board, and Temp gets a kill onto Riot Izzy. Where even was that? Granted gets taken out by Darksea. I am missing out on all the action here, as that is the 2 roam clearers off the board, and 2 of the best fraggers actually on that team taken care of already. Darksea still on a roam here, waiting for somebody else to try and contest, and gets a couple shots onto the Ella, and Watson gets taken out by, I'm not even trying to pronounce that. The refrag comes in by locked in bro through that breach. That is, even though 3 of the attackers are out for the trading of that one Ella. A very efficient roam so far. 2 minutes left on the board. It's a 4v2 situation. AC just holding the angles, that's waiting to be pushed, but it does seem that Locked In Bro was able to get the kill onto Darksea by firing that LMG straight through. That is the Romans now taken care of, but they still only have 1 minute 30 to finally execute into sight, and 2 operators left on their team. Everybody else seems to be quite happily sitting in sight. I mean, at least they have the hard breacher still available, so when they do manage to take the control that they need, they should be able to make a execute onto site. 1 minute 25 left on the board, and defenders are quite happily and quite comfortable where they are. Locked In Bub is on seriously some low health here. The drones coming through just to ensure there are no remaining roamers, but as we have seen, they have been taken care of already. Just going to sort this real quick. There we are. Hatch has finally been opened. 1 minute left on the board. Is a kill onto the Thunderbird. It's a 2v2 situation. Will they be able to pull this through? Crucio getting that kill, actually. Sorry, I need to call that out. I don't know why I said that. I'm half asleep aloud. Still 45 seconds left, and the 2 players are continuing to drone. They have the time to do so. It all comes down to the last 30 seconds at the end of it. I've seen that seems to be the common trend. Zofia opting to push down. Both players actually opting to push. No. A bit of a variation, maybe. Okay, I'm not going to try and cast over this because I have no idea what's going on. They're going back forth between deciding between going down this hatch, down the main stairs, just trying to contest what they can. That Kai does have a nice angle, however, onto the hatch drop. The concussions coming through, disorientating the defenders, but Jaeger is there, ready to go for the swing when the plant does go down. Jaeger gets the kill. 1v1 situation. Crucio finishes off the round as attackers do manage to pull it back through. Not entirely sure how. Jaeger maybe not completely aware on the positioning of the ace there, but a nice comeback from the attackers there. I wasn't fully expecting it, to be honest, but it came down to that last 20 seconds and it's still 2v2. They still couldn't decide where to drop. The concussions come through with very, very good use of that utility. The Kai was able to be taken out because of it, but I did expect that Jaeger to be a bit more of a obstacle there, since he did reposition himself well into that situation, was there to back up his teammate, but he was able to get the refrag. However, obviously the 2v2 does leave it, so he was the final frag out. And yes, they are using red dot, and you know what? I like it, red dot. I'm not even going to diss it. I like a red dot. Back up to CCTV cache. I'm not going to opt to go for a gym, no bar stage going through here. We are going to stick with these two rotations so far, as Team Bad are absolutely demolishing them as of right now. 3-0 up on a defender-sided map as well, so that is interesting.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Team R6 shitters are going to have to pull their socks up here, and if they want to try and pull this through, manage to get in the next 3 rounds, will put them in a 3-3 situation, which is not the worst place to be, in all honesty. There are worse situations. But again, we are going to look for a very, very default sort of CCTV hold. No variation here. I believe the operators are very similar, a very standard lineup. The mute has been taken off the board, however, which is a very interesting decision as well from Mozzie, since we have seen the attackers utilising their drones very, very efficiently. So the fact they would opt to take out that utility denial of their lineup is interesting, since we have seen the communication from the side of the attackers.
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Nice UI. Ta. I'm on console. There's not much I can really do. I've not changed anything. Like, I haven't touched this thing in months. Yes. Right. So I cannot cast from above for the time being. So we are gonna have to. Oh, this is not working. This is not working. Darcy gets a kill onto Crucio, however, as I am experiencing some technical difficulties with the casting. The ally gets taken out by Riot. Is he even this out a 4v4 situation? Please, Siege, fix your game. What is going on? Sham, help me, please. What is happening? Okay, I am just gonna have to allow this round to play out. I'll go onto the view of the Thunderbird here as I do contact. Okay, they're going to get taken out by locked in brothers. I cannot see half of this map, so we all have to rely on player perspectives in order to get this game through. Darksea gets taken out by locked in brothers as well. That Zofia LMG proving its worth here. K gets taken down to Merciless with HP, but gets taken out by What's It. Temp left in a 1v4 situation. Gets the C4 onto Grand Slayer. They now have site control as Temp is forced to rotate below. Going for that pre-fire onto default plant. However, the plant has not yet gone down. There is no sort of intel on the side of the defender, so he is have to entirely rely on complete hope here. A couple shots going through that floor, not connecting onto anyone or anybody near anybody. However, the plant has gone down. 1v3 situation. Will he be able to pull this through? We're going for that full rotate around the map. Could be the play here, but if the attackers are aware of this, which I do believe they are, we do see the Zofia watching into bedroom. I mean, we have seen that the intel on the side of the attackers has been very, very good so far. What's It rotating around as well, just to hold off this Thunderbird as the kill comes through from What's It onto Temp. What's It really pulling in these final kills here. This is atrocious. I am going to probably have to rehost, however. So... just a moment. That Siege is a brilliant game. Ubisoft. Love it. Love it. Also, the PS4 probably doesn't help. But if I'm not the only one that gets the issues, then clearly it's not on me. But yeah, for those who just joined or recently joined, we are 0-4 right now with Team Bad in the lead, taking 4 attack rounds on Clubhouse. I mean, we have 2 more rounds for the defense to try and pull it through, and I do believe Thorn is a band operator, so I am gonna alert somebody real quick. Right. Well, they're gonna have to team kill, so... Right, so with Team Bad already in the lead... and it's gonna be a 4v5. This is a yikes. Why is my game so fucked? Right. Oh, we're in! Let's go! We're in the lobby. We're actually in. The game has started. Finally! No one is ever gonna let me cast again. Literally, like, on PC, every game I cast gets cancelled at all the technical difficulties, so I am just cursed. So have fun if you have a casting your game. Okay, we're going back to top floor. Finally a variation within the strat, however, Thorn has not been team killed. Oh, finally has been taken. They have utilised the shield, which I'm sure is allowed because technically that isn't the gadget, so I don't see why that would be an issue. And somebody else can protest it, because if it's not, it's not my problem.
10 seconds to go.
So the only variation here, like I said, they have gone for a bit of a variation here, adding the shield with in construction, which could be a play since every single attack so far has gone for a west-east side take. And it has been very efficient for them. They have opted to include a roamer on the bottom floor as well as reinforce the 2 Logi walls. So yeah, finally a little bit of variation, a bit of, you know, actually trying to go against what these attackers are doing, counter them a little bit. Oh, you serious? Right, this is just, I've rehosted and I'm still getting the issue, so. Yep. The glitch is back. You know what? I'll cast with the glitch. I will cast with the glitch. Oh, it's gone. I will take it. It's gone. I will take that. Gone for the Maverick trick on the breach yet again, which they have been seemingly good at so far. Very quickly, 2 minutes left on the clock, however, and please stop with this glitch, Ubisoft. Fix your game. It is just interesting, however, no one actually decides to try and contest the Maverick trick, since I do believe if you just lie at a certain angle, you can get a nice shot onto him, but I guess not. A couple of shots being fired there until play on Raptors. Does manage to connect a couple, however, the sheet is still left on about 60 HP. The Bandit is taken out by Grand Slayer. Jordy coming through, allowing to communicate with his teammates to try and clear out this garage, take control. 3v4 situation. Temp does get the kill onto Grandslayer. A couple shots go land onto the Zofia. Zofia gets the kill onto the Jaeger. 2v4 situation right now. What's it on very low HP, but still in a position to work well. I mean, we've seen players on low before, and they still managed to pull it through. Default Calm has only just been shot. That is interesting. Once it finally gets the kill onto the Raptors player, taking control over site as Riot gets the final kill of the round onto, who is he playing? The Yellow. That is the one. Okay, no illegal operators on the board this time, so we're already. I have a bit of a. It's going better than it was last time. Final round for Team R6SS to kind of pull themselves up. Come on, this is Clubhouse. This is a very, very default map. There's not much you can really do, like, to variety. What's the word? I can't speak English apparently, so. But again, a bit of a change on the lineup. We have brought a Pulse on board as well as the Melusi. The Melusi will hopefully slow down the push from the attackers. The attackers haven't actually been that aggressive. They have been taking their time, using their drones, using their utility very efficiently, which is very, very different from the game I casted yesterday, where we did see DW just absolutely rushing in and shooting down every single player. So it's a bit of a different kind of game here, but it's very strategic, very methodic, and very nice to see. So you can see that they have got the practice in, and they have got the communication that other teams may not have. However, Team R6SS seem to not be able to adapt to what's going on very well. They did attempt it just there, but even still, there was not much in the way to try and counter what was going on. They have the setup, but post setup, they kind of just don't fluctuate. We've seen on previous rounds, we have everybody sitting in sight. Second their Roma is taken out, they just allow it to happen and continue sitting in sight. Nobody really tries to go on flanks here. Nobody repositions themselves to what's going on. We've seen attempts, but it hasn't been successful as of yet. So maybe this round will be their final round, and maybe they can prove me wrong. Maybe they can prove me they know what they're on about. So the Pulse is currently hiding in Kitchen, since, I mean, that is a fair enough position to be playing, since they have been, as I said, go from a west-east side take majority of the time. Being able to have that Pulse scanner within into Logi will hope. Oh, you serious? Right, I fixed it. Oh, I did not fix it. Well, the Deuces Zofia go for that breaching charge onto the Logi hatch. However, obviously the Pulse below, he will be able to detect when the Zof decides to go for a drop. And we do also see the smoke playing in construction, ready for any sort of contest over there. Gransley has been taken down to very low HP here, but it's not an issue for us. I'm very, very sure that Team Bad are going to be capable of holding this off. Grandslayer just ready on standby, ready for this breach to be open. And yet again, 1 minute into the round, they have got breach open, and Temp gets kill onto Crucio. That is the hard breach off the board. Main breach is already open. Locked in Bruv gets a kill onto Temp as a refrag for his teammate as Temp gets the kill. It's Riot. It's Ayana off the board. A couple nades taking up. Riot hasn't been having one of his best days as of right now. I have seen this guy pop off immensely, but right now, seems not going very well for him. Grandslayer, however, has been taken out by who? Do we know who? Locked in gets a kill onto that roaming Melusi as the pickup goes onto Grandslayer. Put this now at a 3v3 situation. Locked in literally on 1 HP here. Grandslayer on about 20. Going for that flank around to just reposition himself here. But Pulse is still playing near Kitchen. Very, very interesting in such close quarters. They still have garage control as well. I mean, even though the attackers are able to get that breach open, they haven't really taken much control of anything else, since, you know, we do still see the smoke very happily playing into construction. We still have garage control on the side of the defenders, and we still have below for the Pulse. So even if the Buck decides to go for vertical plays, the Pulse should be able to rotate around and get that Frag of the Buck is aware of this Pulse's position and is trying to clear him out, but Pulse is also aware of this Buck's position as default cam is still up. Pulse gets a kill onto Grandslayer, Watson gets a kill onto the smoke. Chag gets taken down as well. It's a 1v2 situation for this Pulse. Is he going to actually go back into sight, or is he going to wait for this plant to go down? The plant has begun to go down. Not in a default position, however, so even the default C4 will not be able to will connect. Positioning of this Sophia has been alerted to the Pulse, however, no shots connect. One shot is all it will take to get this Sophia off the board. Reloading on that LMG as well will hopefully give her this advantage. 1v2 post-plant. Pulse, will you pull this off? And he does not, as Locked In gets that headshot straight onto those red stairs with that LMG, finishing off the attack side. 14 bad, 6 to naught. Maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe R6SS are just the better attack team here. Hopefully they will be able to pull themselves a couple of rounds on the attack side, but right now it is looking very, very much in favor of Team Bad. But I've seen the miracles happen. I've casted so many different games. I've seen things go from 0 to 6 to overtime to the other team completely demolishing. So let's just hope that Team Bad don't get ahead of themselves and actually continue playing the way they have, and this could be an easy 7-0 for them. But you know, I'm sure R6SS still have it in them to pull this through. Couple moments as my PlayStation is the slowest thing in history. Just gonna flash that scoreboard real quick to help anybody VOD reviewing a little easier.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Okie dokie then. Back to the game, and Team Bad is now on the defense, and they have proved to be very, like I said, strategic, very methodic, and very good with their communication on their attack side. Will they be able to show this through on their defense, however? That is full time to tell. Also, if my mic is too loud or too quiet, if you could let me know, that would be very much appreciated, since obviously I cannot hear it, and I do not like watching my VODs back because they are very annoying. I cannot cast to save my life. Right, it does look like the glitch has sorted itself out, which I greatly appreciate. They have left this construction wall soft, which is an interesting decision. But, okay, and already we're seeing a bit of a variation from what we've seen on Team R6SS. Oh, never mind, we can't see anything apparently, as we do see this smoke holding into bedroom. Watson gets a couple shots taken onto him, leaving on about 60 HP here. Playing it on stop, we actually have got a roam presence. Wow. Who would have thought? Right, as he gets a kill onto Doc. She's taking the Maverick off the board. Such a big pick. That is 2 nades taken out, as well as one of the main hard breaches for this site taken care of. I mean, they still have 2 more hard breaches. How many hard breaches do you need? Apparently 3, according to R6SS. But never mind, as Riot is, he gets a second hard breacher off the board. Takes a couple shots himself, as he is playing very, very aggressively on this garage door. Nade comes through, but does not connect. That is 1 off the board. The Thunderbird station coming in clutch, as he is able to regenerate some of his health, and is aware of this Finker's position outside. Finker, I apologise, it's the Twitch still in spawn. 3v4 situation. Temp sitting here on the roof alongside the thermite, potentially going for a construction push here, but like I said, we still have got the. Oh, right, is he getting the 3rd kill of the round? Finally taking out that Twitch who has been bugging him for so long. Right, is he finally coming through, showing his colours? Like, actually getting kills, man. You got this. Grandslayer to get the kill onto Temp, leaving the Thermite in a 1v5. It would be an ace to clutch as out, gets the kill onto the Thunderbird. However, Crucio finishes off with the final kill, winning the game 7-0 in favour of Team Bad. There's your kill leaderboard, scoreboard. I did flash it before the rehost as well. But that was a very interesting game to cast. I mean, there wasn't really much going on. Like I said, Clubhouse is very standard. The teams did play it very defaultly, but they did play it very well.